Hi, students. Alrighty, this is an overview of what you'll be doing in week 3. You've got the video quiz, and then you're also going to be reading chapter 5, which is the reflection part is describing the reflection part of your essay. And something that goes with it is the storytelling, narration, and who am I essay that you're going to be doing too, reading also. And then you're going to post in the discussion question, work on your concept and reflection essay, and take the thesis statement quiz, and then the fragment quiz also. So let's just jump right into it. Okay, the storytelling, narration, and who am I story. You're about probably around a fourth or so of your essay should be the reflection part, which is telling me a story. And this is going over why it's important to tell a story. Let me just bring out a couple of things. Stories are a fundamental and primary form of communication, and without them, we would lose an important way to teach our children, train our employees, sell our products, and make information memorable. So anyway, that's why you're going to be telling a story with this, and that's going to be the reflection part. Why is this concept that you are writing about important to you? Tell me a story about what happened in your life or something along that line that utilized this concept. As you go down here, it's going to give you some really good examples of stories that you can read and emulate. And it also is going to give you like some different questions, things like ask a question, ask some questions about the event. When, what? Because you're going to have a little event that is just within real time. It's not going to be just a thought kind of deal. You're going to tell me a story that happens with a beginning, middle, and end. It's not going to be just just abstract. It's going to be something really that happened. And then you're going to write down everything you remember, and then let it sit, and then summarize it in a couple of sentences, and think about the dominant impression. What is it you want to leave with the reader? Okay, and then make certain this is very important. Make certain that the story shows and does not tell. And it talks about that in chapter 5 also, that you need to show me. Use concrete details. And then I don't know about this is more of the introduction of the story. That's more about, if you were writing a whole essay about it. And this is only going to be a part of your essay. So you don't have to pay as much attention to that. And then like any other paper, the solid organization thing, that you probably don't have to pay as much to either, because you're only going to have a paragraph or two. But make sure that you proofread, edit, proofread again, and have fun. Enjoy telling me your story. Okay? All right. Let's go back then. And go over here. Whoa, I'm in the wrong spot. Okay. Let's go over here to chapter 3. Week 2. So I am publishing it right now, so you can see it next week. Okay. All right, then the video quiz. Now you're going to be doing a thesis statement quiz. And this one, I'm giving you some information about the thesis statement, and then you're answering some questions about it. Thesis statement is very, 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 very important, people. Very important. You really need to do your thesis statement. It has to be clear. It has to tell me what you're going to be trying to prove. It has to make a claim. It has to. It can't just be horses are nice. That's not a claim. But it'd have to be something like therapeutic equestrian therapy is an effective way to help people regain a sense of self. Something like that. It has to be a concept. Make sure, guys, that if whenever you do your worksheet, you'll be giving me your thesis. If I have some questions about your thesis, chances are you're not going to get a good grade on your essay because the thesis is going to be the most important part of your essay. So we've got to make sure that it's a good, clear thesis statement. If you have a question about your thesis, like if you send it in and I say, I'm not sure about this, as I've done a couple of times already, then make sure that you come to me in office hours and let's go over it and make sure that you can understand exactly what it is that you're going to be doing. This is a fun little story about shyness as an evolutionary tactic. Sometimes people consider shyness as a bad characteristic of people, and this talks about something that's different about it. It's really an interesting little thing for you to discuss. And here's the fragments one. And my handout about fragments and the quiz. And that's it. So that's not a whole heap. If you have any questions, then you can talk to me either by email or office hours. Let me mention a couple of things about in the diagnostic essay, though. Let's go back a minute and talk about that. I have noticed that there's some habits now, hopefully what you did is you took what I wrote in the diagnostic essay and said, oh, okay, that's what she's looking for. I've got to make sure I do that correctly in the concept essay and all the others. And that is what I hope that you see. For one thing, you do not use you in an essay, an academic essay. There's only a little tiny bit of time that maybe you could if you were saying, say, imagine with me that that's about the only time. Okay, and then you will use I because you're going to be doing a reflection part, but only in the reflection part. Okay, you can say, for example, I, or one time I, but you're not going to say I think, I believe. It actually lessens your essay if you do that because you're saying, I think it, but I might be wrong. That kind of a wishy-washy kind of thing. So do not use you, but use I when you're giving an example. What else about the diagnostic? Make sure you've got a good thesis statement. I noticed that was a problem with many of the essays. Make sure you've got a good thesis statement and run that by me. Run that by me, okay? Make sure you've got a good thesis statement before you go to all the trouble of researching and writing the essay and everything else. If you don't have a good thesis statement, it's not going to do you any good. And I think that pretty much covers what we're going to be doing. The rough draft is due next week and the essay is due the week after. Is that right? Something along that line. Let's see, what are we doing? In week 4, you're going to be doing the peer review. Okay. And then the essay is actually due. Let's make sure you understand this. Okay. The essay is due October 1st. So you've got